Vanguard Zombies is known as one of the worst zombie games ever, if not the worst, and while the active player base speaks for itself. Shimonuma was the second DLC for Vanguard Zombies, being a reimagined version of Shimonuma, and people were not happy about a remaster slash reimagine from a game almost 16 years old, and by that time everyone and their dog hated this game, and understandably so. But let's focus on the map and not the game. Like I said earlier, this iteration of Shimonuma was a reimagined version, unlike Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3 remasters of Shimonuma. So instead of just the usual bare bones Shimonuma, we got an entire Easter egg, a whole new area of Pack-a-Punch, and a lot more. So let's dive into it. Just like usual, you will spawn in the main area with Peter McKay just hanging around. Man, this guy needs to get a job. You will make your way around the map to the 4 standard areas we already know and love, being comms, fish hut, doctor's quarters, and storage. But you will notice a couple new things littered around the map, sparking your curiosity like every good map should, being this entire glowing tree looking thing and a power line, and a new dig site in which Pack-a-Punch is located, which doesn't just feel slapped on and makes sense in the iteration. The flow of the map feels surprisingly good, even with the huge increase of speed to players. Going from comms to the fish hut feels just as good as it did in World at War. You have a new way to get the Wander off for a quest, which is really good except for one step. You just have to pick up a couple of parts, get some trap kills, but the step when you have to wait for this boss this morning, which doesn't happen until round 15, which, side note, I hate when maps and games soft lock the map, so if you're a more skilled player you just have to wait around, and it is just very stupid game design in my opinion. After the mini boss shocks the pole line 3 times, then you can build your Wander off in a pretty decent weapon, but wow does it reload slowly compared to older iterations, but looking surprisingly good and fun to use. To be fair, I'm not a high rounder, so I'm only talking low 40s. Anything beyond that, I don't know how it holds up. Probably the best thing that this map did is how much each area of the map serves a purpose, unlike World at War for example. If you're playing Shimonuma World at War and got the perk Quick Revive at the doctor's quarters, you're never going to go back if you're playing solo because it's useless. You're not going to use a trap there because you're the flogger, which is in a better spot. But in Vanguard's edition, yeah, you might get the worst perk, Diabolical Damage, in English, a worse version of Double Tap, just increasing critical damage. You're still going to go back there to get the perk because it might be bad, but 5 perks is better than 4 perks. And also every part of the map has an Easter egg part, a Wanderwolf part, really making each part of the map feel warranted, which I genuinely can't say about World at War. Now let's get into the bosses of this map. Starting with these things, basically dogs, but they explode when they get too close, and are just nice change of pace. Not too many spawn in at once, and they aren't too hard to kill. I'm just glad we just didn't get dogs again. Then we have the worst out of the 3 is the machine gunner. He's just a zombie with a gun, which is just the stupidest idea. They just shred your arm and they're just annoyance at best. Then probably my favorite out of the 3 is the witch zombie, which spawns in and acts almost as the Avogadro from Transit, but a lot better, and can actually be killed by something other than a knife. Seriously, Transit. Unfortunately this map isn't perfect, but really only because of the game it's in. Vanguard Shimonuma has all of Vanguard's problems, which really isn't its fault, but nonetheless, if you play this map you have to do it. Not having a crew is a cardinal sin in my eyes, but I know that overlords at Treyarch need their money, so it's not really the developer's fault. Then the perk system being terrible, in which you have to buy 1 perk 5 times to work properly, which is just why. And the fact that there is only 5 perks: Findious Fortitude, Juggernaut, Demonic Frenzy, Speed Cola, Venomous Vigor, Quick Revive, Ethereal Haste, Stamina, and Diabolical Damage, Double Tap.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Why did Vanguard try to change these names of these perks, but basically take the exact same logo? Just stick to what we know, guys. World War II made this same mistake, and Black Ops 4 to an extent. If you're going to change the name of the perk, you might as well put in a new perk instead of just changing the name. So there was no messing around at all, just the most basic and boring perks ever. Who thought that was a good idea? Then also being able to spawn in with any weapon, which yes, World War had, but they made it that the weapon you spawn in was the lowest rarity, making it so that you're going to change weapons later on. But in Vanguard, your weapon rarity is the same as every other weapon, so you can just load in with this shotgun and never have to change because it's just that good, absolutely destroying any reason to buy a war weapon or hit the mystery box unless you want the ray gun. Just absolutely halving your replayability, so you're really only been playing with 1 or 2 guns this entire time you're playing Vanguard Zombies. The restock on this map is a lot of fun. You have to do this code cipher, then hold out stage in which you have to kill zombies with a blue aura around them, which is actually really challenging. Then you must go build the mirror. Just go find the 2 parts, follow this red orb, and then then go shoot down this, then go follow the orb, shoot it 3 times, and then boom, you have your boss fight. The boss fight is really fun. It's broken up into 3 stages. First, you must shoot the zombies with a blue aura, and once there's this blue aura all around you, you gotta shoot the boss lady. Once you got her first stage done, then you gotta do it again, but the boom shriers, basically the dogs of this map, and then boom, the 3rd round with the machine gunners, which is actually really hard, but really fun. Now, this Easter egg is definitely not the hardest, and it doesn't compare to any of the Easter eggs in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, like the Eye of Odin or Grad Proby, but it's a really fun Easter egg, and you get rewarded with a ray gun, which is really good because wow, it is rare in Vanguard for no reason at all. It isn't even that good, but I do like having a guaranteed way of getting a ray gun. This would be the part of the video where I would tell you about the story as well, but I have no idea what the story is in Vanguard because I just don't care. This is the only Easter egg in Vanguard I have done and want to do, so if someone knows, let me know down in the comments below. I also really like the Covenant system, which is basically a perk but not as cool, and adds so much replayability, and I love messing around. I really like the one when if you get a headshot, you get a bullet back in the mag. So much fun, and it isn't too overpowered, but unfortunately this map is in Vanguard, so you have operators and not a set cast, so this map has not much heart to it. Then the perk system, which is probably the worst perk system we have got to this date. The zombies and how fast they get, and just a lack of mystery to each map, unlike older titles, but that isn't Shimanuma's fault. If I had to rank this map, I would say it's either a low tier B or mid B. It's really worth giving a play if you haven't already. If this game was put into Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2 for example, I think this would be an A tier map, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below.